Gate 14 boy podcast, and the boys are motherfucking back. We ain't going anywhere. We've been on a little 11-day hiatus to kind of melt in our tears over the Toronto Blue Jays collapse, but we've worked up the courage. We are all the way back. I know you guys love hearing this back on your radios, your headphones, whatever. The Gate 14 boys are all the way back. JR, brand new haircut, looking great, man. How you doing?
Yeah, it's the off season. Had to get a fresh cut, when we were eliminated. But no, I'm doing well, man. It's fun watching playoff baseball, but it does hurt a little bit. I got to admit.
Oh, it stings.
Especially seeing the Phillies. I got to admit, it does. It does sting just because of that could 100% be us.
Avery, how you feeling, man?
Good. We flushed the playoff blues away last weekend by going on a road trip where we got to see the Yankees lose, which was nuts of a single day of traveling. But after that, no, it's been all right. It's awesome watching the Yankees just get shit pumped. It is just awesome. It makes everything better.
And shit pumped is an understatement. I believe they have 2 hits the entire series. Or 2 hits.
That means they would have got no hit one game.
Or sorry, no, they got 2 hits yesterday by themselves. Sorry. And the Phillies hit 4 home runs today or something like that, or 3 home runs today. Or Bryce Harper has 4 home runs.
I know what tweet you're talking about, though. Is that where you saw it? I saw the same thing.
Yeah. It's awesome to see. It's like, and I will say this, I know seeing what the Phillies doing makes me very depressed. I guess not really. Bryson's going to the fucking World Series, which is awesome. But I got to ask this to Blue Jays Nation. Does it make you feel better watching the Houston Astros just dog walk every team in the American League that the Jays got swept? Does that make you feel a little bit better? Maybe, Avery, you can answer on that, because I'll be honest with you. Watching these playoffs, the Jays would get fucking murdered against the Houston Astros. Murdered. It wouldn't even be close. The Astros bullpen would have fucking shoved it right down the Jays' throats. Like, they would have got murdered. The offense is unbelievable. It wouldn't have even been fucking close. And people who are disagreeing with me are idiots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we would have got shit pumped by the Astros. They're that good. And the one redeeming thing about the Astros this year is they only had 2 pitchers ever throw for them out of their bullpen that had over a 4 ERA. It's like how do you win games? That's exactly how you fucking win games. Your bullpen just being really good, and you have good starters, and you're up 2 runs in the 6th. It's like we don't really have a chance anymore when you go up against a bullpen like that. So that's how it's been. Would I have liked to win the series and then got pumped by the Astros? Sure. But sitting back, rose-colored glasses, just be like, we would have lost anyways. So it's
by a million.
If we did the 18 inning game to lose, that would have been worse.
I was trying to think of like how that would look like for us, because like you could tell Seattle played it, and then the last couple innings was kind of like, fuck, we're fucked. Like they were throwing guys, and then there goes the Astros, and they're just like, we're fucking ready to go. But like the Jays would. That was our issue. We literally had no one. We would have to
no one.
Barrios would not be. What Luis
he
Garcia
was very similar.
did.
Was it Javier or was it Luis Garcia?
Luis Garcia.
Okay.
What Luis Garcia Luis Garcia, like, to put that in, like, he didn't even make, like, Luis Garcia wasn't gonna like start for that,
which is crazy, by the way. Which is crazy. Fucking crazy.
And we would have had that's like our Barrios. Like Barrios would never give us.
He would not give you 4 scoreless.
Well, he'd give us the innings. He wouldn't do the scoreless part. He would go 6, but he would give up 6.
Mm-hmm. Looking back, you're right. Looking back on it, Avery and JR, I mean, you got to look back on it and just laugh, because holy fuck, the Toronto Blue Jays are a goddamn embarrassment. Like, I'm not like a team that was so high praised. And I tweeted this a couple weeks ago. The Phillies are everything the Toronto Blue Jays should have fucking been. Decent bullpen, unreal fucking lineup, good starters. Besides, obviously, like the 4 or 5 guys are okay. But Ranger Suarez is a freak, and he's their 4 guy. So it's just the Phillies are everything the Toronto Blue Jays did. And one thing that's really point of emphasis is the Phillies got rid of Joe Girardi substantially earlier than the Jays got rid of John Schneider. It makes you think how different this season could have been. We got to the same
we did better than the Phillies. Like the Phillies were the second wild card or the third.
They were the third last team to get in.
Okay. Well, we were the first wild card. We were fine. We were in that situation. But one thing I think about for bullpen to how they did it is they took a chance on Sir Anthony Dominguez figuring shit out, and then Jose Alvarado figuring stuff out. Two guys who have rocket arms, throw the ball faster than fuck.
Jays don't have one. They don't have one of those guys.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah, I think Jordy, like, he's just like, he's good, but like we're looking at what we're seeing, like Josh Hader, and then you see like the Phillies put out their guy, and then you look at even like Presley, like he's just a veteran, but Jordy has no experience in playoffs type of atmosphere. But I think Ross Atkins and I'm like, I think they actually do like see like we're not even close.
Let me tell you something that really fucking pisses me off, JR, about this Blue Jays management. The Philadelphia Phillies acquired David Robertson, good closer. Obviously, he's been a massive part of the Phillies bullpen in the NLCS, for Ben fucking Brown. Who the fuck is Ben Brown?
I thought you were going to say Ben Verlander.
Why couldn't the Toronto Blue Jays offer, like, are you kidding me?
I mean, every team in Major League Baseball could have made a deal for David Robertson.
Like,
Yeah.
I searched Ben Brown here on Google. The guy's not even a Googleable player. You have to do baseball beside his fucking name. A YouTuber comes up. Who the fuck is Ben Brown?
It's crazy though. Like, yeah, it does show. I mean, the Astros are just built like a absurd how that team is built.
Did
Like,
you see sorry, Jared, go ahead.
No. Keep going.
Did you see the difference between the Yankees and the Astros when they hired their front office staff? There is a graphic that came up on Twitter, and like head of baseball ops, all those type of things. The Yankees were like 1985, 1999, 2001, and then the Astros are all within the past 5 years. Like they've really just taken the next step, shown that the old heads, like, that's not the way of thinking in baseball anymore. It's the new way. There's a new age of baseball. The Astros have it by the fucking nuts, man. And they're just going to keep getting better if people don't adapt, and like the front offices don't adapt either.
It makes me sick. And listen, I tweeted this earlier. Maybe you guys can talk me out of it. We're never going to experience this. I'm trying to be, listen, I'm going to try to be an optimist. We will never experience what the Phillies just did.
We have the offense, though.
We do have the offense.
So
those guys are I wonder what the age difference between that lineup and our lineup is pretty substantial, right?
Yeah, no, so. It definitely is. But like, I'm just saying, like, just not to be a contrarian, I guess, if that's even the word. Well, we're gonna never experience this. Like, the Jays are gonna have to be like 100-win team with just a shit ton of superstars to do what the Phillies did. They will never do what the Phillies did.
When were the last time the Phillies made the playoffs, though?
No, but what I'm saying is like the Jays will never be an 87-win team that will go this far, because there's way too many holes in that 87-win team.
Sure,
that's what I'm trying to say.
Sure, okay.
I just want to see how they stack up against the Astros. That'll be the big test, like the Phillies, like to see like if a team like that can actually win a World Series, because that'll be a really tough test for them. I mean, the Astros are just like it's not even close right now. Like they're just fucking better than everyone. And they just stack up better than the Phillies for sure. But
is it crazy to say, though? I do think the Phillies are. I do think the Astros are going to lose in the World Series to the Phillies.
That's crazy, dude. They're gonna be throwing Syndergaard, and I know he's been good, but he's pumping 94. Like,
I mean, you have one of the two options. So
they just have what, like, the rotation, what they've been going. Like, I just don't see how they win a best out of 7 against.
Yeah, like Bailey Falter going for them yesterday.
Even the way the Phillies played their bullpen, that game that they won, game 4, when the manager for Thompson went like all in and pitched their closer 2 innings, they should have lost that bullpen game. They should 100%, like, you lose that game. That's on the Padres. Like, I don't know. The Phillies, I mean, it's crazy what they're doing. I would cheer for the Phillies, obviously, to win, but I'd be shocked if they win.
And the Astros just not losing at all in the playoffs.
See, that's the thing, though. It's like not the rest versus rust argument. It's just like the Astros have had legitimately zero hardships the entire play. They haven't lost a fucking game. Like the Phillies went through the wild card. They had to play in Atlanta. Play in St. Louis, win there, play in Atlanta, win there, and then win in Citizens Bank, and then fucking start off a series in San Diego, win there, and then win at Citizens Bank. Like they're coming, like they've had so many, like I don't know how to describe. Like it's a shit ton of momentum going into the playoffs. Bryce Harper is just the best hitter I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I'm happy for Bryce. Like he deserves something like this
because as soon as he leaves Washington, they lose. Right?
That I'm guessing that was pretty hard on him. Like leaving Washington, then seeing them win, that could not have been easy. But it's good to see that it's paying off here with the Phillies. I mean, they got a really good team. I mean, Bryson Stott's been fucking really good for them.
He's so good, dude. It's fucked.
Like that hitting lineup is absurd.
Like, see, that's what I'm saying though. Like, the Jays would have Whit Merrifield in Bryson Stott's place. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, Bryson's hitting like 150, right?
No, on the NLCS though, he hit
he hit well that series.
Yeah,
no, they definitely built their team for playoffs. Like the Phillies, like they're just a bunch of veterans. Like Bryson Stott obviously is the youngest player in that starting lineup, but like Segura, like I mean JT behind the plate, like I don't know. It's tough to say. Like I know the Jays, we're so young, but it's like when like this is supposed to be our time though.
It's just how many excuses?
We're in a tough spot though.
How many excuses can you make for the Jays though? Like seriously.
Yeah, I mean, what do you?
I don't even know if we're making excuses. We're just saying they're bad.
Yeah, we're just saying I don't even.
No,
know
I'm just saying like
I don't even know what
fans,
to do.
like the Jays fans continue to say, "Oh, this team's still young. This team's this. This team's that." Like a lot of the core guys, I guess you could argue, like the George Springers is a core guy, obviously. The like Kevin Gossman's a core guy. All the like starting pitching, I guess not really, but these guys are old dudes. Like, you know how hard it is to replace fucking George Springer in a lineup? Like the Jays still have to figure out how to do that after next year because I'm assuming he won't sign back. And obviously he's always injured, so that's going to be a tough one. This offseason, in my opinion, is the biggest offseason the Blue Jays have had in like probably 15 years.
It can make or break. This team is good as it is. Like chance
a couple, like 2 to 3 like big arms in this Jays pen, and you're looking at a fucking wagon of a team.
Yeah,
and we had Vlad kind of underperform, and we had the guys that we gave money to underperform. They can't be that. I don't think our top end arms are going to be as like Manoah may not be as good as he was this year, but then you won't have like Barrios be at that bad. So I think it'll even it out to be very similar production from our starters, but just in a different way.
Did you guys see that mock trade Jays in Pittsburgh?
No, I didn't.
Which one?
We get who's their nasty
David Bednar?
Yeah, and who plays infield and outfield?
Brian Reynolds?
Yeah. A package deal of those two, and then Brian Reynolds would be our center fielder next year.
But George
George
would play right.
It's the
George
age thing. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. They're saying that George needs to play right or DH more, which I mean, I don't mind if you can find a good center fielder.
I mean, he's getting up there in age, and it's tough to find good defensive production in a speed premium position as you tend to get older. I have a question that has been on my mind. We had to have been in on Bruce Bochy to be our manager, right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It was awfully the timing of Bochy being announced and John Schneider being announced on the same day was very odd to me.
I don't know if Bochy would ever be like want to come to Toronto.
Why would he want to go to Texas?
Well, like at least it's in the I don't know fucking
in the U.S. He's old as fuck.
I can't see him being like, yeah, let me move to Canada. Let me come back and move to Canada. But he's not
moving to Saskatoon though. He's moving to Toronto.
It's just the customs thing. The customs thing. And listen, Bryson even said to me, he's like, I don't know how these Jays players do this. Have to go through customs every single fucking trip, dude. Like I know it's a different line for them, but it's just so repetitive to fill out that survey that they had to fill out. I answer questions at the border. What are you claiming? What are you doing this? What are all that? It's just annoying as fuck. Like it's just something that's just such a hassle to do, especially when you're the only Canadian team. So every away game you play, you have to go through customs and travel 2 ways. It's shit.
Yeah. I think Abe, what was weird is like there would make no sense if we hired like an assistant coach from another team. Like someone reported that we were in on the Phillies hitting coach. Like that just makes no sense.
Well, he is fucking good though.
Yeah,
Sure,
but like
that
that would
would've
just
been-
like that just
yeah.
doesn't make sense though to like bring in someone who hasn't been a manager. Like if we're gonna replace John Schneider, you would think it would just be with someone who's like an absolute veteran.
And the
But
day
I think-
after the season, right? Atkins came out and said,
Yeah.
"Oh, we're not like totally sure." with the
I think
manager."
they wanted
I think it was
Bochy
a
too.
money thing. I think they were just trying to figure out the years and shit, and he probably gave some.
but he doesn't really have any
presentation.
Yeah, you're
I
right.
think Avery, you made a good point though. I do think the Jays were really in on Bochy. Like
He was a guy who's done
World
it,
Series
who's
champ.
won before, who was older, but and
They
I'm-
probably called.
yeah, they wouldn't be doing their due diligence if they didn't call. I would be
Mhm.
fucking mad at them. But I'm happy with having John Schneider back. It was the right decision.
Mhm.
I think the guys like Gosman said he was happy to have him back, so that counts for something.
I doubt
right?
that. I fucking doubt that.
They asked him about Tim and Friends. God, that name is so bad. But
Terrible.
Tim and
It sounds like a child show. It
Just
really,
call
it
him
really
Tim and
does.
Sid.
so
It's
bad.
fine.
Just
Tim and
Sid.
Tim and Friends. You gotta be.
It's
Anyways,
no, it's
he-
a child show. It
after
sounds
the
like a child.
after the signing, they like interviewed John Snyder and they asked him about the Godspeed.
Really?
He's just gonna get peppered with that question constantly. But I don't know. Looking back at it, like it was bad. It wasn't a good decision. But like the guy couldn't even trust his own bullpen. In the 7-run lead, which is just absurd.
And that's more on Ross Atkins than it really is on.
Yeah.
Like
We can blame Snyder, but like in reality, your bullpen just has to. You're throwing your best guys in a game and they can't. He that was just fucking embarrassing.
it was. No, that game was nightmare. I still haven't watched the highlights of it, to be honest with you. I really haven't. Yeah, man. I like looking back on it though, like looking at this Phillies rotation and this Phillies lineup and this Phillies pitching staff on paper, it's crazy to like think they only won 87 fucking games. The Jays won 92 in a harder division, man. Like, man, it's so aggravating.
Well, they had 3 playoff teams in their division, so we could say it was just as tough, right?
Yeah. And I wanted to go into that trip we made, Avery. So obviously I wanted to talk about this. So I think we said in the YouTube video, the Rogers Center is just not a baseball field, right? Like, listen, I obviously a lot of history there, the Joey Bats home run, the Joe Carter home run, but just it being it's like a concrete fucking slab in the center of Toronto. And going to other stadiums like Progressive, like PNC Park, even Yankee Stadium, Citi Field, all these stadiums that are outside, the Rogers Center is just not a baseball stadium. It's like a fucking concert venue football field in the center of Toronto that they play baseball there. And I'm hoping the changes are different, but you aren't going to be able to change the slab of concrete that it is in the center of the fucking city, right, Abe? It's like it's nowhere near what we witnessed at Progressive when we were there.
Yeah, it was. I've done this before. You walking through the gates into the park, and then you get your first glimpse of the field and everything open. It's like, oh my God, every single time. This is so sick. And there's a ton of fans there. And the first thing I said to you, Johnny, was we get ruined our baseball experience having to watch all our games at the Rogers Center. Rogers Center is good because we can close the dome and it can be super loud when we pack that many people in there, but it's just not as good as a viewing experience as you go to one of these cool stadiums as well. Like, who cares if it's cold, man? Like, it was pretty cold at the Guardians game, and we had the guys in front of us taking their shirt off in the 9th inning, like the whole row. Like, that's the type of atmosphere you get instead of being stuffed in. You're sweaty when you're walking up the stairs to the 500 level. It sucks. You look at like Marlins Park, so for something that's inside, they have glass there where they can open up the glass as well. So like the back, and you can let air in, and it seems more open as well. So
Really?
yeah, something like that. I mean, obviously we're not going to build a new stadium. We can only hope for better than what we have, but it is not similar at all.
And dude,
it
even
sucks for us.
look, you know what I'm saying? Like just having the element of like the fireworks show in the outfield, like when the Phillies got the last out, immediate fireworks in Citizens Bank Park outside. Citizens Bank Park has the same fucking climate, the same like weather as Toronto. So you can't make this weather bullshit argument that like, oh, it gets cold in Toronto. You think they weren't fucking freezing today in Philly with the downpour of rain they were having? Like this, just looking around the league and watching the playoffs and seeing just the atmosphere of like the fans just wearing 18 hoodies outside watching playoff baseball. That's what does it for me. And the Rogers Center, the dome closed, looking like a slab of fucking concrete, just not looking like a baseball stadium. It's nowhere near it. It's nowhere near these other parks. It really isn't.
I'm pretty sure Minnesota is more north than we are, right?
Yes.
That's the only argument you fucking need, pretty much. And it's like you don't really have some historical stadiums that were inside. The Astrodome, I guess, was one, but that looked like shit. And then you have stuff like Fenway, and that's awesome the way they've been able to do it. And that's just outside too. So it sucks for us. It won't change for a long time.
Might never in our lifetime, honestly, with and the amount of money they're dumping back into it. We're never gonna. I mean, we're gonna be seeing this for the rest of our lives, probably. Like they're putting hundreds of millions,
and like the seat sizes they don't cram you in. Like you get crammed in at the Leafs games too, but even in the top deck, they cram you in there nice and tight. But yeah, go watch baseball games somewhere else. Go watch the Blue Jays play somewhere else. You'll have a lot more fun, most likely.
JR, I'm telling you, man, it's nothing. Obviously, you've been to other stadiums, but like just going, I've never got to witness a playoff game at another field. I don't know if Avery has like another MLB stadium. This progressive field, this Guardians atmosphere you can make the argument that it was crazier than the Big House was earlier in the day.
Seemed like it.
These fans are, and it's 20,000 people less than the Rogers Center that fit in there. And it was fucking absurd, JR. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's a drawback. I'm interested to see these upgrades that we're making, but maybe they'll fix it up. But it's a tough thing to fix. They need to have more of an open concept. Like they need a standing room in the outfield or something.
That's what they're doing though, right?
The flight deck's good, but it's like it's kind of lame.
It's lame because it's overused now. You've been there a bunch of times. Yeah. So it'll be interesting if we just buy standing room only tickets and go to every game.
Yeah. True, and the vibes seem immaculate in the standing room only if it's anything like it was for Guardians. And I do know the drawback is like the Jays maybe get more fans than the Guardians during the season and stuff like that. But that playoff atmosphere, man, the way they did it, the massive American flag at the start of the game, the announcement of the lineups, like, fuck, it was crazy, man. One of the craziest games I think I've ever been to, especially with that comeback. But
there's just really nothing. The vlog on YouTube.
Yeah, watch the vlog if you haven't seen it yet. But Avery, one thing that's also cool that I forgot to mention in the vlog was every single time a hitter comes up for the Guardians, they play a video montage in center field on the Jumbotron. They don't fucking do that in Toronto. Like they
could do that.
Yeah, no, but you see what I'm saying though? It's just like the little things like that, like the walk-up songs, everyone's singing to it, like having a good time with the SpongeBob SquarePants one. Even the Nailers one, some people, I mean, they're going crazy for it. That just doesn't happen in Toronto. Someone goes up to the plate and it's just like whatever. They play the walk-up song, not really like any showmanship by the fucking Blue Jays before that shit happened. It sucks.
I will say their fans were very mean to Yankees fans.
Oh, I mean,
like verbally assaulting them.
No, they were.
It was.
What were they saying?
No, I thought there was going to be like a massive fight breaking out between like one guy kept grabbing his nuts to another guy, like saying, hold these nuts to him, pretty much. Remember that, Avery?
No, I don't remember. Was that the guys like in our row to the right?
Yes. Yeah, that were like
and there's like drunk. Two kids. They weren't very old and Yankees. Yeah. And one guy said he was going to shoot the Yankees fan. Yeah. He like pretended to say he had a gun. He's like, what the fuck is going on?
That game. Yeah, that game was fucking wild. But that's sports, man. I fucking love it. Like, I don't know, man. I could be wrong but that game too at the Rogers Center, man, the playoffs wasn't even really that crazy, to be honest. I mean, it was loud as fuck for the first 4 innings, but I don't know.
The Teoscar bomb, the pop for that was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Like, that was awesome. Much better than that.
So
what do we have to look forward to next? Spring training? It's like
I'll be honest with you, like if the people that are listening to this podcast are expecting like an analytical podcast for spring training, like breaking down players that are going to make the team, you're not going to get that.
I might do that for them though.
All right, Avery, maybe we'll
Avery will maybe do a spring training corner over there.
It's just going to be Ricky Tiedemann watch.
Yeah,
that's the only dude I'm going to really give a fuck about.
I mean, I'm going to go down to Miami to see my brother. I might as well hop over, get some backfield video of some
We
of our.
should do that. We should do Gate 14 for like even like 4 days. Just like have like the sideline reporter mic and just report on the spring training. That'd be hilarious.
Or we should
We
ask
would
Jano
definitely
questions
talk,
like how much does he bench? Like those guys who asked
Those guys
Zimmer.
stink.
Those guys stink. Those guys stink, Cave.
Well, I said we can spoof them, man. We can make it funnier.
We can ask some funny questions.
Yeah. But we
By the way,
we should do a spring training trip or World Baseball Classic trip.
I think spring training trip would be sick.
Yeah, because we're like the Jays guys, Dave.
Yeah, we are the Jays guys. We're
Canada's guys though too.
One thing that we have to talk about, which is obviously very clear, and I think Ross Atkins stated it is, Ross Stripling is not going to be a Blue Jay next year for the Toronto Blue Jays, and going forward. What the fuck is this team going to do? Barrios as the 3 guy?
I mean, Barrios has to be, at the very least, has to be the 3 guy. If he's not, then what the fuck are we doing? He has to be. Like this guy was supposed to be our ace at the start of the year. We had full faith he was gonna be.
Yeah, he's our opening day star.
Yeah, like if he's not a 3, we are not like going anywhere if he can't be a 3 next year. I don't know. I think we'll sign like. I don't mind not bringing back Stripling. I think like he's not a hard
Can't
thrower.
afford for what?
Yeah, like
imagine we give him 12 a year like Kikuchi and then he regresses to being shitty.
I wonder what he's gonna get, and like it'll be interesting. I have no clue. The ballpark is I don't even fucking know. But I think we'll sign like a depth guy, and then we'll run with it. And then come deadline,
I don't want depth
you
guys,
hope we go
man.
for a.
You have to get depth guys though.
Yeah, you have to get a depth guy.
Okay,
no,
I
but then you
understand
gear
that.
up for the deadline, and you make a. They might. I don't know. They might surprise us and make a trade, but I think it's all geared up towards this deadline. I think we'll make 1 or 2 signings, but they won't be major. And then
Do you think we trade a catcher?
I don't know. I'd be
You
shocked.
have
That would be a
to,
big
bro.
trade. If we trade a catcher, I think it'll be a big one. I don't think it's just going to be. Actually, I don't know.
What team in the
I don't even
playoffs?
know.
What team in the playoffs has 3 fucking catchers?
No.
Someone
Yeah, no, I
please
think
tell
you
me.
gotta
No teams have 2 good catchers. The Astros have 0 good catchers.
You know
So
who I
do
want
who
next
do
year?
you trade?
You know who I
Moreno.
want next year? I want Chris fucking Bassett. That's a decent depth guy to get. A number
Oh my
3
God.
guy.
He's gonna throw
like Bassett.
92 and get his tits lit for us, and it'll be like, oh, here we go again.
Frank the Tank. It'll be like-
Is Bassett? Is he done his contract? I thought he just signed. Like that was.
No,
Did he only sign a
he's
1-year
available.
deal?
He's available. Dude, there is some like back end starters the Jays could get. You know, okay. You know who the Toronto Blue Jays are going to sign this year? Who are just going to be absolutely dog. The Jays are going to sign Wade Miley. I'm
I heard
the Toronto
that.
Blue Jays will sign and figure out
Did he even throw this year?
Yeah, he was okay.
The Jays are going to fucking sign Wade Miley. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Just the most random, high risk, high reward guy at the end of his career. That's what
Mark
Toronto Blue
Burley.
Jays are going to do. And he is going to be like a Tanner Roark type, and he's going to be just absolutely dog shit. Terrible.
I
The Toronto Blue
think
Jays.
I think Wade Miley's good. I think he's
He's
no. I'm thinking
100
of
years old.
I'm thinking
He's
of
100.
Drew Smiley, not Wade Miley. I know who Lee is. Don't worry, but yeah, we will get someone like that because
Yeah,
it'll
we'll
do the
find
Robbie
someone.
Ray thing. Like we take a chance on guys, and they.
But how many guys we ever took a chance on fucking Kikuchi?
Yeah, he was an all-star.
Yeah, Kikuchi will start the year maybe as the 5, and then
That's
He,
you
my-
have-
he will be in the opening day rotation. Like
I mean,
no
you have
doubt.
3 guys who can stack up against anyone in the league. Really, if Barrios is what he should be, I mean, Barrios, Gosman, and Manoah. That's a fucking.
It's a
Rock
good.
solid
It's a good
3.
1, 2, 3. It is
Barrios just like, I mean, I don't know what the fuck happened, and maybe we'll find out something.
And then we have
fucked
Ricky
happened.
Tiedemann by July.
Yeah, Ricky Tiedemann in the bullpen, dude. Come playoffs,
Please,
Oh,
God, please just make him.
dude.
fu-
We're
just-
in a good spot, man. Like
Shut the-
like, right?
We're
Two-
not in a good spot with this
Okay, look,
bullpen, JR.
okay, look.
No,
We're
but
not.
you can buy
Okay.
bullpens easily.
Yes, we can. What's gonna happen is okay. 1, we knew what they did at the deadline. Everyone is returning to the Jays except for Ross, but everyone's returning in the bullpen too. Like Bass is on a friendly contract.
Oh,
Pop is back.
don't mention that fucking name for a while.
No, but Anthony
okay?
Bass is like if he replaces what Trevor Richards does, like that's a huge upgrade. And then you just need to find someone who throws. I mean, we do have Pearson, but
Did you see him? Did you see that video I sent you guys?
in the Dominican League.
I saw he's just
Yeah.
like literally on vacation. Like, dude, where the fuck were you the entire year, man? Where the fuck were you? No, I don't know, man. I don't think we're in a bad spot, dude. We have a surplus of catchers, which means we will get a good arm from that trade. No matter who we trade out of the three, we'll get a good bullpen arm.
And a starter.
You get a center fielder and bang, you got a team here.
But we shouldn't be having this talk to get a center fielder. This is what you signed fucking George Springer for, to not worry about center field for 4 years in this contract.
Now we just move him to left.
Yeah, but like,
we have Lourdes though. Lourdes is good.
Yeah, he's fine.
Lourdes and left. Yeah, Lourdes and left. Yeah, okay, look. Teoscar and George will probably like flip, like they'll DH and shit, and then we just need another outfielder. We need a center fielder. We need a really good center fielder. I don't care if he can't hit, like to a certain extent.
Yeah, it's true.
But like Jackie Bradley, just like, and Zimmer, those guys are like, I mean, those are house league players trying to hit. So we need a guy who can hit like 250 and play center. Okay, like someone decent with speed. Kevin Kiermaier was talked about.
Oh fuck.
Oh fuck me.
He was mentioned because
Well, Chris Black
Black did mention him.
Dalton Varsho.
Dalton Varsho, I think, is like ridiculous. I just
listen,
don't.
Let's go get.
Chris, we love you. The Jays are never in a million years getting Dalton Varsho. The Diamondbacks are not giving up on him.
Why?
Well,
That's the
thing. It's like we found a good young player on another team. We just think we can trade. We're Yankees fans now doing that.
Yeah,
it's like, this guy's like Zach Gallen, Dalton Varsho for
why don't we just pick them both
Kirk,
up? Just throw fucking Kirk at him.
Nothing else.
I'm pretty sure he like stated like the only issue is they probably don't need a catcher. It's like, shit. They have like 3 in Arizona.
And another thing that really pissed me off is like the postseason awards coming out, like the season awards, like the Jays having 5 Gold Glove guys is just like, are you fucking kidding me?
I would love to know how they like do.
How is Whit Merrifield a Gold Glove center fielder?
How is Juan Soto, who has the worst?
Whit Merrifield is the Gold Glove center fielder.
That's a finalist. I don't even know what the stats are in him, but he just doesn't look good in the outfield.
He's the worst outs above average for his position in baseball, and they gave him the Gold Glove nomination.
Like that diving grab, he like that. I mean, that's
terrible.
That's just caught by a good outfielder, or at least blocked down.
Yeah.
Lord, I've seen what you've given to them. Please give it to me. I want what the Phillies to have, and we might. And Jose Barrios being a Gold Glover.
Okay, the pitcher.
Did Kikuchi not get no Kikuchi nomination?
No,
he deserves it.
So they don't fucking look at any of the stats. That's
how do they get enough? Like, how do pitchers get enough like
attempts?
Reps? Yeah, like to figure out if they're a Gold Glover.
I think it's just how many assists you have and your fielding percentage, probably.
Yeah. I will say this though, if not Jose Barrios, if Matt Chapman doesn't win the Gold Glove at third base, we riot. Riot.
Who's potentially
who are the other nominees?
I don't know.
I remember seeing it, and there was one.
I seriously don't know.
There was
it's Matt Chapman, Ramon Urias, and Jose Ramirez. Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
That's easy, right?
Unless Ramirez. I mean, Chapman's definitely just the best third baseman. He should win. He'll win. He's got a history of winning the award too. So
that's slight work. Who are two guys this offseason, like if the Jays get you'll be fucking pissed about that are free agents? Mine's Nathan Eovaldi.
Why would you be mad?
Really? I don't know. I don't think that would be horrendous.
I don't like. He's just another Jose Barrios man.
No.
Oh, come
on.
No. He's a
look
dude.
At his stats.
He's a dude.
I don't know.
We need to do a free agency episode.
We will, but one thing we got to talk about. We have to do the Gate 14 awards. I get a million DMs about it, and you got to get like So I have some award ideas. So obviously the Arash Madani tweet of the year is just that's a bucket.
There's gonna be some couple good ones.
A couple other ones are like the Bradley Zimmer head of the year, or Bradley Zimmer moment of the year. Bradley Zimmer moment of the year nomination is like mine is when he pinch ran and got thrown out at first base.
Yeah,
I mean that might be the leader in the office.
It's a good thing MLB Film Room has all of this, so we can go find all the.
We will, and we have to do it in person. So we have to like either ask the owners, but I'm sure they'll be fine. They're just us using it just like at night for like an hour.
Yeah.
I think what we should do is sell Gate 14 award, like, you know, those t-shirt tuxedos, and it's just like a t-shirt tuxedo with the Gate 14 logo where like the pocket square goes.
Yeah, we should send them to the winners as well.
Yeah, we should. Arash Madani wearing a.
Did you see John Gibbons interviewed for the Marlins job?
That's another good thing. So what's happening to the Gibby show if he got hired? Like, do we take it over? Or do we just get all the guests? Because I saw he had Alex Anthopoulos on.
Yeah, it's so bullshit, man. He started on third base in his media stuff.
I'm going to say I'm out on the Gibby show and I'm out on John Gibbons now. He's not my manager anymore. And by the way, the people saying hire John Gibbons to the Toronto Blue Jays, are you out of your goddamn fucking skull? That dude was handed a fucking all-star team. Like, and I know the manager, whatever, the argument, the manager makes a big difference. You see with Rob Thompson, but this dude, Alex Anthopoulos, put his balls on the table and traded for everyone at the deadline. David Price, Troy Tulowitzki, already had Josh Donaldson, Edwin, had all these dudes, Jose Bautista. Like, do we even know if John Gibbons is a good manager? Like, what's his manager? What's his record as a manager?
I don't think he's a good manager.
Like, and everyone has this like gripe with Gibby, like, oh, bring Gibby back, like, no, dude.
It was nostalgic because the team was good, not because he was good.
Gibby has a 0.501 win percentage as a manager, and we have people in our comment section saying, "Bring back Gibby," like he's the second coming of Christ.
Over 500, that's pretty good.
by 4 games. There was just no managers that were better that were available besides Bruce Bochy. That's it.
Yeah.
Ron Washington would have been sick, though. I will say that.
I mean, they just hire very old managers, which is an odd thing for the Rangers to do.
Tony La Russa, fuck it. Come on down.
He's done. Hey, you see he's retired?
Yeah. And like, I guarantee you not one player is like sad about that.
No. 793 and 789. What a record for Gibby.
Like, that's just not going to move the needle for me, okay?
You think he gets more downloads on his pods than he has like wins?
Maybe. I don't know. Like this, we need to run it past and get past this motherfucker on the podcast list. But it's going to be hard when he has God as every single. I'm surprised he doesn't have Joe Carter next. Like, that's going to be the next guy.
You think he could talk? Actually, he's a guy who could talk like by himself for hours, probably too,
about like the cattle in Texas or some shit.
Yeah,
that's what he does. Yeah, man. Watching this postseason has made me depressed. I want that for us so bad. You know the content we would produce if the Jays made a run like this? It'd be fucked.
Yep.
That was so, dude, it was so bad, man. Game 3 even, man.
I just want, like, honestly, I call me agree. I just wanted a game 3 to like just have all the boys there, all the Gate 14 guys, and just crank mimosas and just like get ready to go to the Jays game. Like, that would have been sick. We got that taken away from us by an 8-1 lead from fucking Anthony Bass and John Schneider. Sad.
Never forget, man.
It's sad. So Gate 14 awards, I'm assuming are going to be like late November, probably. We're gonna get that going. But we just wanted to have this podcast, man, to kind of let you guys know we're not going fucking anywhere. We're going to start doing once a week, little 40-minute shows to get the people going. Jano said he's going to come on. I just wanted to kind of space it out between the Gibby show because I didn't want to like be like a second fiddle to that. And by the way, listeners, I need all hands on deck. Everyone that listens to this show, comment on Bradley Zimmer's Instagram and his wife.
Oh, we forgot the video, man. We don't have a minute left here, but that fucking video of Bradley Zimmer was awesome.
Oh, that might win like play of the year for Zimmer. Like, that's got to be in the running. Like, that is an awesome.
Yeah, that's in the running for play of the year. Just the greatest DJ all time. Like, Bradley Zimmer forever. That video was awesome, and I don't think he's going to be on the Jays next year. I think he's gone, but it's just all time. But yeah, man, 4 more wins. Bradley Zimmer wins a World Series. Everyone comment on his picture. Come on the Gate 14 podcast. If you have a fucking skull, I want 100 comments to Bradley Zimmer, and he'll be like, what is this? Like, we have a ton of mutual friends, but it's funnier if the followers do it for us. I want the followers to do it for us, but we love you guys, man. We're not going anywhere. Once a week, we're going to keep shooting the shit. We're going to figure out content ideas. Stay tuned for the Gate 14 award. Love you, boys. Let's fucking go.